Fun things to watch on YouTube. I thought that would be a good idea. Maybe it's not. YouTube! Anyway, hi, how are you? It's very good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm looking at this and I don't know. This is always one of the biggest questions. Whether I should have it, unbuttoned there to be casual, or if that's too casual, if this looks sloppy, or maybe I should button it up here. It looks nicer. I think this looks nicer. But it feels too uptight. I feel down, maybe this looks sloppy. I'm going to do it this way because it feels more comfortable. Okay. I'm glad we spent time talking about that. This week, I want to talk to you about some amazing, interesting clips that you could watch on YouTube. So here's the thing. In the 1970s and 80s and 90s, I was watching television constantly, and I just love television. And there are some absolutely ridiculous moments in television that were made during those decades. And I thought they were so cool at the time. But looking back, they were absolutely ridiculous. And I want to share them with you. So, if you ever, need something to do, you can go look up these clips on YouTube and just have a ball. So, oh my God. Have you ever heard of the exploding whale? Here in Oregon, KATU, Channel 2, I think the reporter's name was Paul Lindman. He was on Channel 2 News forever. And in 1971, 70, something like that, he went to the beach because there was a whale that passed away on the shores of the beach on the Oregon coast. And the authorities had to come up with a way to get rid of the whale because it was just huge. They couldn't just, pick up a shovel and put the whale in the back of a truck. So they came up with the brilliant plan of stuffing the whale with dynamite. And they thought they would just blow up the whale and all the pieces, it would just disintegrate the whale and all the little pieces would be eaten by birds. Well, it was not a great plan because what happened was, as Paul Lindman, in one of the most brilliant news reports ever, he reported this whole scenario. They filmed the whole thing. They stuffed dynamite in this whale and they blew it up. And instead of disintegrating into these little particles, it made these huge chunks of whale. And everybody was like, there's a bunch of tons of people, just spectators around watching, the whale blow up. But then they suddenly realized this is actually a dangerous situation and we need to run for our lives. Because there's this one scene with this lady in the background is going, oh, look, here come pieces of, my gosh. And everyone scatters and runs for their lives because these huge chunks of whale are falling on them. It's just raining down whale parts. And there was this huge chunk of whale that landed on top of a car and crushed the roof of the car. I mean, it just totaled the car and, there was just whale everywhere and everybody ran. And when they got done with it, the whale carcass was still there. But there was also bits of whale everywhere. And so it is just one of the most bizarre and humorous, darkly humorous things you've ever seen in your life. Is if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, welcome to interestingness. And I would love to hear in the comments what you think of this whale of a news report. Anyway, the next one I want to talk about is Chuck Workman was a director in Hollywood, and he would make these movie montages that were shown at the Academy Awards, the Oscar Awards, and I think the first one happened in 1990 is when it was first shown. He made these montages that would last 6 minutes long, and it's got 1,000 movie clips. I mean, it was just insane from the beginning of the silent era in movies, through comedy, through tragedy, through all the decades of movies up until 1990. And I would just watch these montages that Chuck Workman made of movies. I'd watch them over and over because it's like an emotional roller coaster. He'd make you laugh, he'd make you cry, he'd make you just feel every emotion in these montages. So Chuck Workman movie montage from the 1990 Oscars, and he made some other montages too of comedy and some other ones, and they're just totally worth your time. 1966, Batman came out with the movies. There was the Batman TV show. going on in the 60s that lasted for 3 seasons that I think I talked about in my first celebrity video where I talked about celebrities I've seen in real life. I saw Burt Ward. He played Robin on the TV series, and I saw him in 1978. He was signing autographs. And so he was on the TV series, and they decided to make a movie in 1966 from the Batman TV show into a movie. And one of my friends and I in college would watch this movie all the time because it was absolutely absurd and ridiculous, and we would quote from it all the time. And one of my favorite scenes is Batman versus the shark. Because for some reason, Batman gets lowered. Robin is up here driving the helicopter. Batman is on a rope ladder trying to land on the villain's yacht, but the yacht disappears for some reason. I mean, it's just like, this is the most absurd. And Batman gets lowered down in the ocean, and when Robin raises the helicopter, he pulls Batman out of the ocean, and Batman has a shark attached to him. And Robin's like, holy shark, or whatever he says. And there's Batman trying to get this shark off his leg, and he's punching the shark. And Robin, he's like, Robin, send down the bat repellent shark spray. And Robin, it just so happens there's a whole bunch of spray bottles in the back of the helicopter. And Robin grabs the spray bottle, and he goes down the ladder, and he bends over, or he hangs down. He hangs down the rope ladder and hands Batman the shark spray repellent. And Batman takes it and he sprays the shark, and the shark drops off his leg. This is all full of spoilers, I'm sorry. And for some reason, the shark lands on the ocean. It explodes. I don't know why. I don't know why the shark suddenly explodes. Maybe there was something in the repellent that made the shark explode. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this scene. It's the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen is Batman versus the shark. It's better than anything Christopher Nolan did, anything Tim Burton did. It's just Batman versus the shark is the greatest Batman scene ever. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, what was the next one? Tom Hanks versus Fonzie. Okay. Happy Days was on for several seasons, and in the later seasons, they brought on Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was busy doing bosom buddies, and he was starting to do movies and other stuff. And they brought Tom Hanks in to fight Fonzie, and Tom Hanks is doing some kind of martial arts moves, and Fonzie is just like being cool, moving aside, not breaking a sweat. And so Tom Hanks fighting Fonzie and jumping through doors and falling through windows, and it's just... the early days of Tom Hanks gets really absurd. I think Tom Hanks was also on Family Ties and some other stuff, but him fighting Fonzie is a treat for the eyes. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. 1989, Michelob beer did an ad, or did a series of ads called The Night Belongs to Michelob. And I freaking love these ads because I would watch the Academy Awards and the Grammys and the American Music Awards, and they would show the best ads. If you wanted to see the best ads in the 80s and 90s, you watch the Oscars and the Grammys because they had, the best. It's like the Super Bowl ads, right? So it was a big show. They know they're going to have a great audience, so they put together these amazing ads. And I love, this is one of my favorite ads, is the Michelob, The Night Belongs to Michelob 1989 ads, because they had these amazing musics. Musics? I invented a word. Musics. Musicians that would do these nighttime theme songs to play along with the pouring of the beer or whatever. So there was Steve Winwood. He did 2 of them. He did What the Night Can Do and Talking Back to the Night. Genesis did Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Phil Collins did In the Air Tonight. Eric Clapton did After Midnight. Now this is a version of After Midnight that I can't find anywhere else, and it is my favorite version of After Midnight. I love this version. And I've only heard it on this commercial, and it's just fantastic. And the reason I love these Michelob ads, I just love the vibe of it. I love the vibe of the night. It's one of the reasons I liked Batman 1989 when it came out. It was just like, when the Batman, the Batmobile was driving through the forest at night. It was just that nighttime vibe. And these Michelob ads had that nighttime vibe. And when I think of sensuality, can't can't say that with a straight face. But when I think of sensuality, I think of these ads because they just had this sensual nighttime vibe going on with these Michelob 1989 What the Night Can Do ads, or The Night Belongs to Michelob ads. Anyway, I hope you check them out. They're really fun. Switching gears completely, the Carol Burnett Show was a variety show that had lots of great skits, like Saturday Night Live skits, but they would do them with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman and Vicki Lawrence and Carol Burnett. They would do all these skits, and it ran for like 5 or 6 seasons, I think. But one of the funniest skits was The Dentist. You know, when I think of physical comedy, when I think of, it's right up there with Who's on First. It's one of my favorite comedy sketches. It's right up there with, this needs more cowbell. It's up there. The Dentist from the Carol Burnett Show. There's, it's Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, and he's trying to do this. He's trying to help Harvey Korman with his dental work, and it just totally goes awry, and it's one of the greatest physical comedy things I've ever seen, and I think you'll laugh really hard. So, Carol Burnett, The Dentist. I'm going to try to link or provide links for all of these in the descriptions below this video. The thing is, I don't know what I'm doing. I think this is only my 20th video that I've posted on YouTube, and I'm still learning technology. I don't know what I'm doing. Does it look like I know what I'm doing? I stumble through these videos, and I hardly know technology, so if I'm able to put the link in the description so you can click right to it, the clip, I'll try to do that. Otherwise, it'll be totally easy for you to just search for this stuff on YouTube to find it. Okay, the Croft Saturday Hour. So on Saturdays when I was a kid in the 80s, early 80s, there was these Croft Hour TV shows, and I think the Kroft, and the Croft Hour, they would have different TV shows. They had a TV show about a dune bucky, and they would only last like 20 minutes or so, maybe even 15 minutes, the episodes, and then you go to another one. I think that's how it worked. But they had this TV show called Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. And if you go watch the opening the TV show theme that ran for 30 seconds every episode, you'll see a summary of what Electra Woman and Dyna Girl were like. And I would watch these shows and be so entertaining. I thought they were so cool. And then I go back and watch the clip now, and it's just like, this is ridiculous. They had no budget whatsoever. They are doing the best they can. You got these cardboard sets, and oh my gosh. And it was just like, okay, this is what passed for television in the 80s, and it's just absurd because the next show is even more ridiculous. Okay, Croft had a TV show called Bigfoot and Wildboy, and the premise was that some kid got lost in the forest, and he was found by Bigfoot, and for some reason, instead of going back to town, he was raised by Bigfoot in the woods, because the town doesn't seem like it's very far away, but he decided to hang out with Bigfoot instead, and he became Wildboy. And because, Bigfoot's got all these magical powers where he can run really fast and he can jump really high, and it's the worst Bigfoot costume you could ever see. And they didn't have the budget or the technology to show Bigfoot, running really fast. So they did the bionic man thing where they slowed him down. So when he ran fast, it'd be like... And he'd jump really high, and you could see the weird cuts that they made to make it look like he was jumping high. And it is just the most absurd. So if you watch the opening intro for Bigfoot and Wildboy, you'll be like... They made this into a show? This was a show? You're kidding me. So anyway, there's that. And you might find that amusing. Okay, 2 more. Condorman. In 1981, there's a whole bunch of shows or movies like Superman and Batman, and I was totally into superheroes. And then came Condorman. And I think this was a Disney movie. It wasn't a cartoon. It was a real life superhero movie with Condorman, and Condorman was this dude who made a comic strip, and he drew it, and he wanted to come up with new adventures for his character Condorman to go on, and so he created this actual costume with wings like a condor and this suit. And he starts the movie where he jumps off the Eiffel Tower and he does a whole bunch of stuff. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And the thing I think you should watch is Condorman, the car chase. Oh man, because I love cars. Superhero cars was just like the best. I mean, the Batmobile and Knight Rider, but the Condorman car was fantastic because they're driving along in this rickety old truck and then the bad guys show up in cars chasing after them. And, you know, the truck's going too slow, so what are we going to do? And he pushes a button and it lowers him down into this sports car that zips out the bottom of the truck. And they leave the carcass of the truck on the side of the road. And the Condorman car, the Condomobile, it goes speeding down and it's got lasers and all these tricks and it's got a ramp and it's got all these, it's got, you know, it's got everything that the Batmobile, it might even be better than the Batmobile, the Condomobile. And then it turns into a boat and it's just, Condorman, man, Condorman was just so cool. I wanted to be Condorman. I think I even, because I got to be a peacock in the church play when I was like, you know, 9 years old. So I had that costume left over. And so I put on my peacock costume and I made some wings. And I think I jumped off the doghouse pretending to be Condorman. And I don't think that worked out too well. I didn't break any bones, but I learned very quickly that I was not Condorman. And, but I wanted to be Condorman, and I just think that the car chase scene you're really going to enjoy. So the final one I want to talk about is Prince. Prince, one of the all-time great guitarists, singers, songwriters, musicians. I mean, he was just the greatest. So in 2004, he was doing a tribute to George Harrison with Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne, and I think George Harrison's son. It was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they did a tribute song of My Guitar Gently Weeps, and they all play this song, and at the end of it, Prince does this amazing guitar solo. He's just like, it goes on forever. It's like a 4-minute solo. And Tom Petty, they're all just smiling at him like, yeah, keep going with that solo. And Prince is just like smiling at him. He's playing the guitar and he's falling into the audience and they're pushing him back up. And it's just the most amazing guitar solo you've ever heard. It's because I don't think they realized that Prince was going to go that hard on the solo and play that long. And they were just like, yeah, keep going. Let's keep jamming. Anyway, it's one of those great moments in television. And it's just a great guitar solo. And so, anyway, something to look at. I hope this is interesting to watch. And I hope this is interesting to hear about. I think you'll really enjoy these. So we have the exploding whale on the beach from the 70s. Chuck Workman's 1990 Oscars montage, movie montage. Batman versus the Shark from 1966, Tom Hanks versus Fonzie, the Michelob 1989 The Night Belongs to Michelob TV ads with Steve Winwood, Genesis, Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, Carol Burnett, the skit The Dentist, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, Bigfoot and Wildboy, Condorman, car chase scene, and Prince 2004 tribute to George Harrison guitar solo. Now I'm giving you homework. This is my 20th episode, and now I'm giving you homework. But I hope it's fun homework. I hope you really enjoy it. And I would love to hear your comments. Have you seen this before? And after you watch these, I'd love for you to hear your reactions to these and hear what you thought. And I would love for you to let me know of clips and scenes and videos on YouTube that you think I would enjoy. I am on YouTube constantly. I'm watching movie reaction videos. I love to watch America's Got Talent, just like clips from movies. I watch Conan O'Brien's podcast, Saturday Night Live clips. I'm constantly watching videos on YouTube. So if you have suggestions for interesting stuff to watch on YouTube, I would love to hear about it from you. So, like I said, I will try to put links in the description below this video. I don't know if they'll actually work, but you can totally, search and very quickly find these videos. Anyway, thanks for listening to this. And I hope you enjoy watching all these, some of my favorite stuff from television to watch on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week, and we'll talk about something interesting. I don't know what, we'll think of something. Oh, at some point I'll get good at this. At some point, we can only hope. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Just remember to bring your bat repellent shark spray. Oh, good stuff. Have a great week.